Cassette community. Again, man, this thing's really starting to grow legs. I wanted to show some more cassettes tonight. First of all, some great videos lately from Greeno and Pudsey, King of Nowhere. I see Mr. Hall of Fame finally jumping on board now, showing some of that killer cassette collection. Well done, dude. Wanted to show a couple rare cassette finds and a couple more recent, and also share some from my collection. I know I've been calling these recent rare cassette finds, but they're not all recent. A lot of these are just part of my collection. Here's two that are pretty recent and are pretty rare. I don't see them often. The first is Babylon AD. This is hair metal from late 80s, 1989. And this is an absolutely awesome band. I've only seen Babylon AD's debut in the wild on vinyl once. And I believe it was $45 at the time. And that's not something I was willing to pay for it. So I did let it go. But this has some killer songs like Bang Goes Bells, The Kid Goes Wild, Hammer Swings Down, Caught Up in the Crossfire. If you're into 80s metal at all and you have not checked out Babylon AD, you're doing yourself a huge misservice. Grab it. And the second was Babylon AD's follow-up, which is Nothing Sacred. Nothing Sacred, another awesome Babylon AD cassette. And same style, same vein. It's no better, no worse than the first one, their debut. It just kind of dropped at the wrong time. I want to say this is from 1992. So it was kind of, when you're Babylon AD in 1992, you're not going to compete with Pearl Jam and Soundgarden. It's just not going to happen. So those were two recent finds, both rare. They don't show up too often. Babylon AD on CD tends to fetch even $25-30. Very, very cool stuff. Highly recommend you look into them if you haven't. What's playing in the background is my copy of Tarot, The Spell of Iron. This was made for me by fellow BCCC member Mikko from Finland, Mikko Toivola. If you haven't checked out Mikko's channel, make sure you do so. A couple really cool videos up there. Mikko, hope you'll start making more pretty soon. And thank you. This has fast become one of my favorites. Now, what I want to share with you tonight, my briefcase. Take this to work every day. No, I don't. This is 45 cassettes that I hold near and dear. I have an album falling on my leg. Imagine that. And this is really just a means of storage. I'm working on getting a cassette shelf built on the wall over here, but that's going to take some time. But this is I want to say probably late 70s case. It's just, how cool is this? I mean, let's off to our friend's house with our cassette collection, with our brown velour liner. This was awesome. I actually found this at the thrift store with no cassettes in it, of course. I want to say it was $2. It's a killer find. That was a couple of years ago. But I wanted to share the cassettes in it with you. And this would, I think I just blocked the light. So this would represent just some more of my collection. Again, none of these are recent finds. I've had these for a while. But for those that are interested, sit down, stick around, and we'll go through all of them. I won't say a whole tremendous lot about them. We'll try to move through them pretty quick. And for those that are just looking for vinyl, it's either over my shoulder or it's in the next video. This is all about cassettes. If you're digging that, hang around. If you're not, by all means, go check out another video. Gummy bears. So here is, there will be some artist collections too. Here's my Triumph artist collection. This is Triumph's Just a Game. If I don't put these back as I show them, I'll never get them back in. Progressions of Power. Standard white cassette. US release. This is a great album, Allied Forces. I want to say I own almost all of these on vinyl as well, especially all the Triumph stuff. Just about everything I pull out of here I should own on vinyl. Here's Triumph's Rock and Roll Machine. Triumph is a great band that I think just doesn't get enough credit. I saw Pudsey show a ton of Triumph cassettes as well. Never Surrender. It's an awesome album. Awesome album. Triumph kind of stuck being just heavier than Journey as far as AOR goes, but not quite enough to be considered metal. So just kind of the blistering edge of hard rock. And this was Thunder 7. All these are from the early 80s. Triumph's a great band. This is Stages. This is Triumph Live. I have this on vinyl as well. This was actually given to me on vinyl by BC member Hard Rock Records, Jacob. Look at the order form. And you say, why collect cassettes? Why collect vinyl? It's about collecting music. It's the period stuff, like filling out a card in a cassette, like I can totally remember having done in the past. Here is the Sport of Kings. You can see we're getting a little more modern now in terms of the actual cassettes are now becoming clear. This album is from 1986, and the last Triumph album I have on cassette, this is Surveillance. Another fantastic effort from Triumph. This is 1987, and this is a band that aged really well. I think they did well through the 80s. They're just underappreciated. Here's Journey's Captured. This one's kind of neat. So this is the whole 2-record set on one cassette. It has the grainy cassette that you can feel the grain on, and that was a big deal. I have this on vinyl as well, of course, and so 2 records set on just one cassette, so nothing but pure portability. This one's kind of neat. It's a Columbia stereo cassette on the back, which isn't very frequent, and the big barcode on the front, instead of having just the whole album art. This is one that I was happy to find. I've had this for a long time. The obligatory and absolutely awesome Escape. There is no escaping owning this. I probably have 2 or 3 of these. I think this is just the cleanest one I own. I think I own one that barely plays. It's probably seen the inside of more garages than I can count. Journey's Frontiers. Here's Cinderella's Night Songs. Kind of every once in a while you'd stumble into a tan or a red case. A lot of the Crocus cassettes had red cases. It almost got to a point where you could kind of predict what you were going to pick up just based on the color of the case. Tan would usually be early Scorpions materials or Kiss releases. Red might have been Crocus, like I said. I never understood the method to the madness behind the colored cases of the manufacturers. If anyone knows, leave me a comment. Here's Cinderella's Heartbreak Station. Probably one of my favorite tapes. I don't own this one on vinyl. I'd love to. If anyone has it and wants to get rid of a copy, shoot me a PM. This is Cinderella, I mean, really just finally at their absolute best. I think the first album, Night Songs, isn't bad, but it's a blues rock band trying to be a hair metal band, and it didn't work. Long Cold Winter is a brilliant album. Absolutely love that album. And Heartbreak Station, they finally just said, you know what, we're a blues rock band and that's what we're going to be. And this cassette is fantastic. I guess the rest of the Maiden cassettes must be in another box. Here's Power Slave. So I must have been listening to it. And Maiden cassettes have had a lot of different releases. So this is an older cream-colored cassette release. So I guess this may be an original release. I'm not 100% sure. But I have seen Power Slave as a clear cassette as well. So this one is definitely an older Maiden release. And same thing with Maiden. I love collecting them on cassette. If anyone has them and wants to get rid of them, please shoot me a PM, let me know. Work out a trade, sale, whatever. Here is Motley Crue's first album. Very, very cool stuff. Again, an early release. And this had a number of releases on vinyl as well. Elektra, Leather Records. That's the difference. This one is a Columbia House Music Club pressing. I probably have 2 or 3 of all of these. Here's Shout at the Devil. Amazing album. Theater of Pain. Motley Crue welcomes themselves to clear cassettes. I remember having this one in my jacket in my Walkman for a long time. Probably a whole school year at one point. I just loved it. It's funny, I don't so much anymore. Probably my least favorite Crue album at this point. Here's Girls, Girls, Girls. Another cassette I would have absolutely worn out many times. Couple Ozzy cassettes in here. Here's Blizzard of Oz, which just means there's more running around in another box. And until I get the shelves filled, I've kind of had to start a box with what I've shown and what I haven't. And as I do start showing them, it's really motivating me to get the shelf finished. Here's Bark at the Moon. And I believe the way I packed this case a while ago is going through them, what I thought I'd want to listen to, or what I was listening to is obviously Love and Triumph at the time. But it's certainly not all of them as far as artist collection goes. Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits. Classic album. Bon Jovi 7800 Fahrenheit. Again, tan case. And this is includes lyrics and Rockstar trading card. Let's see if they're in here. I see the lyrics. And There is the Rockstar trading card. Bon Jovi trading card. How cool is that? Should I list this on eBay as complete with Rockstar trading card? Will that make it go through the roof? Slippery when wet. Again, tan case. There was not a soul alive in 5th grade that did not have this cassette in their Walkman. Not a soul. Alright, some Rat. Rat's first album. I love Rat. Infestation on vinyl is another one I need to get their newest. Invasion of Your Privacy, another one I've seen multiple releases and cover variations on. This is a Columbia House Music pressing. I know I have a regular retail version as well. Dancing Undercover. I'm not even going to say these are all great albums because they're all great albums. Okay, I guess I just said it. Reach for the Sky. I'm just going to stop saying how much I love Rat at this point. Rat's the bomb. Rat is the bomb. Such a great band. Here's Detonator. White Cassette. Music Club, maybe? BMG Music Club. And there come in the variations. You know, a lot of times I remember when BMG first started as a competitor to Columbia, they had all these big foldouts, and Columbia always did. But I think BMG is a way to cut costs. As they went on, they started sending just the J card, and that was it. You had to get it from Columbia House or retail if you wanted the full fold-out. Does anyone else remember that in the U.S.? Skid Row's debut. This is actually a really good album. I have to give them credit. The follow-up to this, Slave to the Grind, is awesome too. Last row, 15 to go. Europe, Out of This World. Nice album. One of my favorites, Dawkins Back for the Attack. Why do I own this? Great White, Once Bitten. Let me tell you, after their history here in this area, in the Boston, Mass, or Providence, Rhode Island area, these guys are not popular around here. I promise you that right now. Scorpions, Love Drive. So again, the older tan case and white cassette. And there's a pretty good example of, you can forget any bonus material with this album. Nothing to research or look at. Just fine because it doesn't need it. Speaks for itself. Here's Love It First Sting. Again, a big difference I've noticed showing cassettes here in the cassette community is that, as far as the UK releases that Aid's been cool enough to show us, it seems like the cover art is cut. And in the US it tends to be more full cover art. 2 from the Defs. Here's Def Leppard, High and Dry. And Def Leppard's On Through the Night. Stellar, stellar early Def Leppard. I guess this is for the completist in me. Here's Poison's Look What the Cat Dragged In. This is kind of neat. It's a clear cassette, but it still has the ridged effect. Very, very popular in middle school around 5th, 6th grade. Slightly better. Here's Open Up and Say Ah. I guess this is the band cover with the tongue sticking out. So I've seen a different release, right, where this is kind of just this, or just this. So I'm not sure if this would be something of a rarer cassette as well. This is one, if I remember right, that tended to rip a lot as well at the preparations. But maybe that's just because the teenage girls were just looking at it too much. I know I showed this in my Perfect 10 video. Rush, Hold Your Fire. I have most of Rush on cassette, so the others must be in another box. It's a rare one that I don't see too often. Very cool album, Vixen. Self-titled debuts from 1988. Vixen's a very cool band, very cool sound. Again, just a total victim of the times, but 4 ladies, there they are. Janet, Jan, Roxy, and is it Cher or Shane? Very cool band. Definitely didn't get enough credit or get far enough in my opinion. It's a little southern rock and metal funkalicious Driving and Crying. Which one's this? Fly Me Courageous. They're a great band. This is the Allman Brothers, Shades of Two Worlds. You watch my videos, you know I'm an Allman Brothers fan. This is later Allman's, 1991. Rock solid release. And the last 2, I think I showed these in my first cassette video. This was Grateful Dead, Europe 72. So I must have stuck them in here afterwards and thought I was going to keep listening to them. So that is 45 plus 2 more. 47 cassettes, and that is another cassette community video in the bag. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you're doing well. Catch you soon. Ciao.